You hear my voice not in the thunder, but in the silence between your thoughts. I do not speak to your ears. I speak to your soul. And I say this to you now. Get ready. Not tomorrow. Not when it is convenient. Now this moment is sacred. Every heartbeat is an echo of my calling. I do not delay because time is running out. I speak now because I love you. I speak now because I have waited for you to listen, and now you are listening. You've asked me what to do, how to live, when to begin. The answer is this: get ready now. Not when everything feels certain, not when the world applauds you, but in this holy silence where only you and I remain. You've carried burdens too long that I never asked you to carry. You've clung to habits, guilt, fears and delays that do not serve the purpose I placed within you. You have been walking with shadows when I've called you into light. You've looked to others for approval when my love has already approved you. But you still wake up every day. That is my mercy. You still have breath. That is my invitation. You still feel the tug on your heart, and that is my spirit reminding you that you are not alone. So I'm calling you, deeply, urgently, intimately, because what I have planned for your life is not small. It is beyond what you can imagine, but it requires your attention. It requires your obedience. It requires your readiness. And that readiness begins now, not with dramatic change, but with a shift in your spirit, a surrender, a whisper of yes, a decision to move one step closer to me. Chapter 1. The time is short. You think you have time, but your life is a mist, a vapor, a morning dew that vanishes when the sun rises. The hours slip through your hands like grains of sand, and yet you keep telling yourself there will be a better moment, a more convenient season. But you cannot afford to gamble with what you do not control. Every moment spent waiting is a moment that could be building. What you delay, you endanger. What you postpone, you risk never doing. My word is clear. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Not when you feel better, not when you're less distracted, not when you're more confident. Now is when my spirit stirs. Now is when heaven listens. I've placed an urgency on your heart because delay is dangerous. Time does not belong to you, but to me. And each moment I allow is purposeful, brimming with unseen potential and divine timing. You do not know what tomorrow holds, but I do. I see the moments ahead of you, the ones that are divinely timed, the blessings that are prepared, the breakthroughs waiting to be claimed. I see the gentle nudge to call someone you've avoided, the chance encounter that will shift your path, the quiet prompting that will open a door you didn't know existed. I see the opportunities that will never come again, the people who will cross your path only once, the blessing that hinges on your obedience in this moment. And I want you ready, not rushed, not panicked, but spiritually awake and alert. I do not reveal my purpose all at once, but I give you enough light for the step ahead. That is why readiness is not about knowing everything. It is about trusting me with anything. It's about tuning your heart to my whisper and saying yes before you know the full picture. Readiness is not perfection. I never asked for that. I never demanded flawlessness. I long for faithfulness. I asked for your yes, your willingness, your heart turned toward me. I'm not searching for flawless vessels. I'm looking for available ones. I move through those who are surrendered, not those who believe they are already strong. Stop waiting to feel qualified. I qualify whom I call. And I have called you. I called you when you were still doubting. I called you when you still felt unworthy. Your past does not disqualify you. It has only prepared you. Your scars speak of survival, but I will turn them into signs of strength. Your weakness does not displease me. It invites my strength. I work best through the places you're tempted to hide. All I need is your surrender. All I desire is your yes. From that yes, I will build what you could never have imagined. From your obedience, I will release what you thought was lost. I will do the rest, because I always finish what I start. Chapter 2. Prepare the soil. Before I bring the harvest, I prepare the soil. That's what this season is, a preparation. I am tilling the hard ground of your heart. I am removing the weeds of distraction, the thorns of anxiety, the roots of old lies that have wrapped themselves tightly around your truth. I am breaking up the hardened places, the places where past disappointments have made it difficult for new growth to take hold. I am exposing what you buried because I want to plant something holy in you, something that will grow and last, something eternal and unshakable. But it begins with surrender. You must let me dig. Let me disturb the surface. Let me disrupt the comfort of what you've grown used to. Let me reveal what's been hidden, not to shame you, but to heal you. This is where true healing begins, not in the hiding, but in the revealing. You don't have to fear what I'll find. I already know it all. I've seen every wound, every failure, every cry in the dark, and I stayed. I didn't turn away. I don't bring shame. I bring transformation. I bring resurrection. And I never waste your pain. It becomes the soil from which purpose springs. When you give me access, I give you peace. Not the kind the world gives, but a peace that steadies you even when the winds howl. When you let me in, I pour out strength, strength that is made perfect in your weakness. When you stop resisting, I start rebuilding. Brick by brick, truth by truth, I restore what was broken and construct what was always meant to be. I lay foundations of faith, hope, and love that no storm can shake. Prepare your soil. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of something sacred. Get ready for what I will do in you. It will exceed what you've hoped for and heal what you thought would never mend. Chapter 3. Let go of what you can't carry. You cannot carry old baggage into a new season. What served you once may now be weighing you down. The tools that once helped you cope may now be dull weapons that injure more than they protect. I am not calling you backward. I am calling you forward, into clarity, into healing, into your purpose. But you cannot run the race with chains around your ankles. You cannot fly while holding on to the weights of yesterday. There are things you once needed to survive, but now I'm teaching you how to live. Let go. Let go of the voices that shame you, the ones that echo louder in silence than any crowd could shout. Let go of the bitterness that poisons you slowly, turning joy into suspicion and peace into restlessness. Let go of the identity that fear gave you, the one that told you you were not enough, not capable, not chosen. Let go of the need to control what was never yours to manage, what was never yours to heal, what was never yours to carry. I have better for you, but you must release what's in your hands to receive what's in mine. My hands hold peace. My hands hold purpose. My hands hold a future that far outweighs what you fear to lose. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is obedience. It is freedom. It is preparation. Forgiveness does not excuse the wrong. It releases your soul from the grip of it. Letting go is not losing. It is trusting. Trusting me with the outcome, with the justice, with the story. I cannot fill a clenched fist. I cannot anoint what is closed to me. I need your hands open, empty, ready, willing. When you release, I restore. When you surrender, I strengthen. When you open your hands, I place blessing into them. Get ready, because what I'm about to give you cannot be held by someone holding on to yesterday. Chapter 4. Walk with me, not ahead of me. You've tried to force your way forward. You've tried to make things happen in your strength. You've pushed doors I never asked you to open and carried pressures I never placed on your shoulders. But I don't bless hustle. I bless obedience. I do not follow your plans. I invite you to follow mine. My plans are not reactive. They are eternal. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to prove your worth. Your worth is already established in me. You do not need to run ahead. You only need to walk with me. You are not behind, and you are not late. You are exactly where I need you to be for the work I am doing in you. I do not walk too fast. I walk with purpose. I walk with presence. I walk with wisdom. My steps are deliberate. They carry mercy. They echo eternity. And every step I take is a step of peace. You won't lose your way when you walk in my shadow. I will never outrun you or abandon you. My pace is perfect for your process. You don't have to figure everything out before you take the next step. You don't need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. I'm not asking for your roadmap. I'm asking for your trust. Trust is how you stay in rhythm with me. Obedience is how you stay aligned with what I've prepared for you. And when the road feels unclear, I will be your clarity. When the path feels narrow, I will be your strength. You will hear my voice in the quiet, not in chaos, but in calm. In the silence of early morning, in the hush that follows your deepest sighs, I am there. Not in the loud opinions, but in the stillness of your heart. I do not compete with the noise. I wait for your surrender. You will sense my guidance in the peace that remains after prayer, the stillness that settles in your chest when your soul knows it's safe, when your mind stops racing and your spirit finally exhales. I whisper to the parts of you that ache, to the places no one sees, to the wounds still mending. You will recognize me in the gentleness, in the patience, in the love that does not demand but invites, in the kindness that steadies rather than overwhelms. I speak not with urgency, but with authority wrapped in mercy. I speak in ways that free, not frighten. And I will not lead you where I will not sustain you. Every path I prepare, I also walk. Every season I allow, I also redeem. I go before you to clear the obstacles you don't even know exist. I walk beside you when the journey feels long and heavy. I stand behind you to catch you when you stumble. I surround you completely, before, behind, within. I walk with those who walk with me. I carry those who cannot walk. I lift those who are too weary to move. I hold those who are too broken to believe. I guide those who are willing to follow, even in uncertainty. I lead not with pressure, but with presence. I give light in the dark and direction in the silence. I do not rush you. I develop you. I do not abandon you. I dwell with you. Get ready by walking with me, step by step, day by day, breath by breath. With each moment you surrender to my pace, you align with the grace that sustains you. Let your life move at the rhythm of grace, not the chaos of urgency. Let my peace become your compass. Let my promises steady your stride. Let your thoughts be anchored in my truth, not the fleeting noise of culture, not the lies of comparison, but the everlasting words I have spoken over you. I say you are chosen. I say you are loved. I say you are mine. That is where strength grows, in the slow and steady walk of trust, where roots run deep and resilience is formed not in ease, but in daily obedience. That is where you discover that waiting on me is never wasted time, but time being prepared. That is where miracles unfold, not always loud, but always lasting, rising up in places the world overlooks. They bloom in silence, thrive in faith, and endure through fire. That is where my presence changes everything, where burdens lift like morning fog, where identity is restored like the returning light, where courage is born not in perfection, but in presence. That is where your identity becomes rooted in who I say you are, and not in what the world demands you to be. The world says, prove yourself. I say you are already mine. The world says, perform. I say, abide. You are not defined by your past, nor confined by your fears. You are not a product of your pain or a prisoner of your doubts. You are defined by me, and I say you are mine, entirely, eternally, unshakably mine. And nothing will separate you from my love. Not failure, not fear, not even the time you feel you've lost. All things are redeemable in my hands. Keep walking. Stay close. Get ready. Chapter 5. You were made for this. Stop doubting what I created. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You were not overlooked. I crafted you with purpose, with intention, with my very breath. Before you were born, I knit you together in the secret place. Before you breathed your first word, I whispered your destiny into being. I wrote every day of your life before one of them came to be, not with indifference, but with delight. I rejoiced over your creation. You bear my fingerprints. Every wound you've experienced, I can use. Even the ones that still ache when touched, even the ones that feel too deep for words. Every disappointment you've survived, I can redeem. I collect your tears and turn them into rivers of purpose. Every wrong turn you've taken, I can reroute. I know how to take detours and forge new paths through deserts you never meant to walk. There is no part of your story that is wasted in my hands. Even the moments you try to hide, even the ones filled with regret, I can take them and shape them into beauty. Even the pieces you think are beyond repair, I turn them into testimony. You see brokenness, I see blueprints. You see ashes, I see the beginning of something holy. What others saw as broken, I see as a canvas for my glory. I can use every scar to mark a moment of my faithfulness. Not a single season is wasted, not a single day unnoticed. But the time to believe this is not later. It is now. Now when the doubts are loud. Now when you feel unready. Now when the enemy tells you to wait. Now is when you take me at my word. Not when you understand, but when you choose to trust. Faith does not wait until it is safe. Faith steps forward in obedience. It hears the whisper of my spirit and responds with trust, even when everything around you says to wait. It does not wait for perfect clarity or perfect timing. It hears my whisper and moves. It steps through fog, trusting that the ground will meet the foot. It walks into the unknown with confidence that I am already there. Faith does not wait for permission from the world. It listens for instruction from heaven. It obeys even when the world questions. It stands even when others sit. Faith is not built on ease or certainty. It's built on the intimate knowing of who I am. Faith does not ask for comfort. It asks for courage. It doesn't seek shelter from risk, but seeks strength in me. It stands firm in storms and still sings while the waves crash. It's not built on guarantees. It's built on relationship, on communion, on a steady heart that knows I am good. And that is what I'm asking of you. Not to have all the answers, but to have your heart open. To give me access where fear has built walls. To offer me your weakness, not your performance. To step out even while questions remain. To move your feet before the full map is drawn. to trust even when clarity hasn't come, to believe that I see what you cannot, and I guide with purpose, to move even when fear tries to paralyze you. I know your knees may shake, I know your hands may tremble, I know the weight of what I'm asking, but I also know what I've placed inside you. I put eternity in your heart. I breathed resilience into your lungs. I laced your being with divine assignment. Get ready, because I am doing something in your life that requires you to believe I made you for more than survival. I made you for impact. I made you to shine when others hide. I made you to build when others retreat. I made you to rise when others fall. I made you to speak when silence feels safer. I made you to heal, to lift, to lead, to love fiercely and walk boldly. You were made for this. You were born for this moment. You were crafted for this assignment, woven together with strength and purpose, and a divine calling that no force on earth can cancel. Everything about you has been intentionally designed. Not a single detail of your existence is random. Your passions, your personality, your pain, they are not accidents. They are instruments in my hand. Everything you've walked through has led you here. Every valley, every fire, every delay, every detour, every tear you've cried, every time you felt unseen, every night you whispered prayers with trembling hope. I saw it all. I was there, and I waste nothing. I redeem everything. Your story is sacred, and your steps are ordered. Your journey, with all its twists and trials, has prepared you for what comes next. Nothing is missing. Nothing is too broken. I am the one who restores, who reclaims, who revives. I do not simply use what's left. I multiply it. I take what you thought was over and breathe new life into it. I've been shaping you in the shadows, refining you in silence, and now I am calling you into the light. You don't need to feel ready, just be willing. You don't need to be fearless, just be faithful. I am with you every step of the way, clearing the path when it seems blocked, lighting your way when it feels dark, and catching you when you stumble. I am your stability in change, your anchor in uncertainty, your shelter in every storm. I will never leave you. I never have, and I never will. My presence is your promise. My word is your foundation. So take the step, even if it's shaky, even if it's small. Take the step, and I will meet you there. Say yes, even if your voice trembles. Say yes, because obedience unlocks destiny. Say yes, because I have already gone before you. Say yes, because you were never meant to stay where you are. You were meant to move forward in me. Get ready. The next chapter begins with your faith. Chapter 6, The Weight of Obedience. I never promised ease. I promised presence. I never said the path would be smooth, but I said I would walk it with you. Obedience is not always light, but it is always right. It may cost you the approval of people, the comfort of routine, or the illusion of control, but it will give you peace, purpose, and power that nothing else can provide. When I ask you to obey, I am not taking something from you. I am trying to give you something greater. The world may not understand your choices. Even those closest to you may question your faith. But I see your sacrifice. I honor your yes. Your quiet obedience in the dark prepares you for impact in the light. Do not despise the days of small, silent faithfulness. They are building something eternal. Obedience is trust in action. It is the evidence of your faith. It is the bridge between what you pray for and what you receive. And sometimes, the most powerful move you can make is not public but private. A decision to forgive, a choice to stay, a moment where you say yes without knowing where it will lead. That is the kind of obedience I bless. Let me shape your path. Let me order your steps. Do not compare your obedience to anyone else's journey. What I require of you may look different from what I ask of others, but the reward is the same. My presence, my favor, my power moving in your life. Get ready by walking in obedience. Chapter 7. Stand when it's hard. There will be moments when obedience leads you into pressure, not away from it. When faith requires you to stand in the middle of uncertainty and say, "Still, I will trust you." The enemy will whisper that you're forgotten, that nothing is changing, that all your prayers have been ignored. But those are lies. I have not abandoned you. I am building you. When you stand in faith, heaven stands with you. When you refuse to back down from what I told you, even when you're tired, even when you're afraid, you declare that your faith is greater than your fear. You show the world that your hope is anchored in me, not in outcomes. You are not standing alone. Angels surround you. My spirit strengthens you. And every tear you cry waters the seeds of your harvest. Keep standing. Keep praying. Keep trusting. You are closer than you think. Mountains move not always in moments, but through persistence. Stand firm, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Stand firm when the silence stretches longer than expected. Stand firm when your prayers seem unanswered and your strength begins to falter. Because what I'm doing in you is often hidden before it is revealed. I am building roots before the bloom, laying foundations before the structure rises. I am strengthening your resolve, refining your character, preparing you for more than you can yet see. Do not let the waiting make you weary. Let it make you stronger. You may not see the outcome today, but you are sowing in the Spirit. Every act of obedience, every whispered prayer, every decision to trust instead of retreat is a seed planted in faith. You are planting faith in dry ground, and the rain is coming. I have not forgotten the ground you've toiled, the tears you've sown, the silence you've endured. You are growing endurance in the place of discouragement, and that will become the strength you need to carry what I'm giving you next. Strength forged, not in ease, but in perseverance. Strength that will not shatter under pressure, because it was shaped in fire. You will see the fruit of your faith if you do not quit. You will taste the harvest you once only prayed for in hunger. The harvest is closer than you know. The reward is greater than you imagined. I do not call you to labor in vain. I do not allow struggle without purpose. And the transformation happening inside you will echo far beyond this moment. What I am building in you now is preparing you to carry what you once could only dream of. This season is not punishment, it is preparation. You are learning to endure, to discern, to remain. Get ready by standing firm, not because it's easy, but because it's holy. Because your stillness in me declares your trust in me. Because in your stillness I am still working, aligning what you cannot see, arranging what you cannot reach, releasing what you didn't even know you needed. Because when you choose faith over fear, you honor me. You testify to heaven and earth that I am your anchor. And when you don't give up, I pour out more than you hoped for. I honor persistence. I bless the steadfast. I reward those who trust me even when the way is unclear. Stand firm. I am not finished with you yet. I'm just getting started. Chapter 8. Speak life into dry places. Your words have power because I gave them power. Life and death are in the tongue. What you declare matters. What you repeat shapes what you believe. So speak life. Speak hope. Speak my promises, even when everything around you looks dead. There will be seasons when everything feels dry, your energy, your relationships, your vision. But do not let the dryness deceive you. I am the God who brings rivers to deserts and breath to dry bones. Your job is not to analyze the dryness, it is to prophesy to it. Open your mouth. Speak my word. Let your voice agree with heaven, not with fear. Declare what I have said, not what you feel. You may not see the change right away, but your words are seeds. And seeds take time to grow. What you speak today may bring fruit in a season you haven't yet stepped into. Get ready by changing your language. Your words are not just sound, they are spiritual instruments. They either build or break, uplift or unravel. Let praise replace complaint, not only because it feels better, but because it aligns your soul with my truth. When you praise, you shift atmospheres. When you praise, you silence the lies. When you praise, you declare that I am greater than your situation. Let truth replace fear, because fear speaks the language of limitation, but truth speaks the language of freedom. When you repeat my promises, fear loses its grip. When you declare what I have said, darkness has no place to linger. Speak not from your emotions, but from your convictions, those rooted in my word. Let hope replace doubt, because hope breathes life into what looks lifeless. Hope dares to expect me to move. It keeps your heart open even when your eyes can't see change. Speak to the dry places, not with resignation, but with resurrection power. Call things forth, prophesy life. Say what I say, not what your fears say. Speak restoration, speak joy, speak vision into barrenness, and my spirit will meet you there. Watch what happens when you refuse to repeat what's wrong and begin to proclaim what is still possible. Speak to the dry places and watch them come alive. Your words are not wasted, they are seeds of revival. Chapter 9. Love like I do. Getting ready isn't just about what you do for yourself, it's about how you treat others. I have called you to love, not when it's easy, but when it's real. Love that forgives without being asked. Love that gives without keeping score. Love that serves without recognition. This is how the world will know you are mine, not by your perfection, but by your compassion, not by your knowledge, but by your kindness. Every act of love is a reflection of me. Every moment you choose grace over judgment, you reveal my heart. Love is not weakness. It is your greatest strength. It breaks walls. It heals wounds. It restores what hatred tears down. You were not called to mirror the darkness. You were called to reflect my light. Get ready by loving intentionally. Love the difficult. Love the overlooked. Love the ones who do not love you back. In doing so, you shine like the city on a hill you were always meant to be. Chapter 10. The time is now. You have waited long enough. You have circled the same mountain, doubted the same voice, delayed the same obedience, but I am telling you again, get ready now. The hour is not coming, it is here. The shift you've prayed for begins the moment you say yes. The door is open. The invitation has been sent. Heaven is leaning in, waiting to move through your next act of faith. Stop waiting to feel ready. You are ready. I made you ready. You were born for such a time as this. No more excuses, no more delay, no more shrinking back. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not forgotten, you are chosen, you are prepared, you are equipped, you are mine. So rise up, take the step, speak the word, love without limit, walk in your calling. Get ready now because the time is no longer later, it is now.